This is the Detroit Bikes factory. It's been open and running for about 2 years now. Going into year 2, got this great deal with New Belgium, so we're just ramping up production, getting ready to put those bikes out into the world. As I started to think a little bit about production and about making things, Detroit was really the best place to look. Detroit has a rich history of production. A lot of that's with the auto industry. And certainly Detroit Bikes has benefited greatly from that. There are people who got their skills working in the auto industry who then were looking for work. So we've been able to find some incredibly skilled people and a lot of machines, and this factory space. A lot of this is a result of being in an industrial center. The reception for this company and for what we've done has been part of why we're able to exist, is just the enthusiasm of people in Detroit. It's also just such an interesting city to live in. I mean, there's so much happening right now. It's a city that is in a huge transition. It's a city that's been through a lot of huge transitions. I think there's just a lot going on and a lot to do. So when I first moved to Detroit, there wasn't a lot of bike culture here. There wasn't a lot of cycling. And over the last 4 years, it's really picked up. A lot of that has to do with group rides. The slow roll is massive. It's attracted all kinds of people from the suburbs and from Detroit itself, people who just want to find a way to get together and enjoy each other's company while exploring the city of Detroit in a way that's safe and fun. There's also a very strong Belgian connection in Detroit itself, and a lot of that is based out of the Caju Cafe. So the Caju Cafe prides itself on being the only place in America where people feather bowl. At the clubhouse when Rolly Bolly beer came out, everyone was blown away, wondering how a beer was being made with our weird sport on the label. So many people who work here feather bowl, and then New Belgium also has a similar sport taking place in the brewery. It's a great connection. The partnership with New Belgium happened after a night of having a few New Belgium beers. I was drinking a Fat Tire and looking at the label. And I knew the story of New Belgium, and I knew that it was a small company that had strong values and just kind of tried to do things the right way right from the beginning. And I thought that the people at New Belgium might be really interested in what we were doing with Detroit Bikes. Not just because it's happening in Detroit and because it's relating to bikes, but also because of how we're running this company. I sent an email just to info@newbelgium.com or something, just like the base email address from the website. And about 3 months later, I got an email back from somebody saying, yeah, this is interesting. In the United States, every year there's 16 million bikes that are sold. Of the 16 million, only 50,000 are made in the US. So it's a tiny little fraction. So this one building that we're in can double the country's output of bikes. New Belgium, for something like 15 years, has been producing bikes. They give them to their employees on their first anniversary with the company. They also give them to some of their key accounts. And this is the first time that New Belgium will be ordering bikes that are mass-produced in the US. In fact, it's probably the biggest order of American-made bikes in decades. In our first year, we sold 1,000 bikes, and the New Belgium order is for just under 2,500 bikes. So it's over double what we did in our first year. So it's hugely exciting. It's a big shift in the industry and an amazing show of support from New Belgium to this company and to the American bike manufacturing industry. And it certainly gives us some credibility and some authenticity in the marketplace that's going to give us our first foot forward, really.